This lesson is about the Pythagorean theorem, named after philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras. Lived in Greece many, many years ago. So let's review square roots. So I look at this first one, the square root of 36 is 6, because 6 times 6 is equal to 36. And the square root of 121 is 11, because 11 times 11 is 121. I think about it this way. If I know the area of a square is 36, then each side must be 6, because 6 times 6 is 36, so here's my square root. Cool? Now, for these square roots right here, they're not exact, so we use our square root button on our calculator to figure them out to 3 decimal places. When I pop this into my calculator, I'm going to get 5.916079783. I think that's it. But to 3 decimal places, the 0 makes the 6 stay the same. So the approximation for the square root of 35 is approximately 5.916. The square root of 105 is approximately 10.247. Again, the calculator came out with this. So the 7 makes this 6 go to a 7. Now we're going to talk about right triangles and the Pythagorean theorem. A right triangle is a triangle with one 90-degree angle. So this is an example of a right triangle. I'm labeled this triangle A, B, C. C is called the hypotenuse. It's the longest side, or the side opposite the right angle. A and B are called legs. So the Pythagorean theorem, named after a Greek mathematician and philosopher, Pythagoras, is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Or we could say that one leg squared plus the other leg squared, leg 1, leg 2, is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And we can use these to find a missing side of a right triangle. Let's look at number 3. Find the length of the missing side of the right triangle using the Pythagorean theorem. Give an exact answer and, when appropriate, an approximation to 3 decimal places. So in this first case, we have a leg and we have a leg, but we are missing the hypotenuse, which is always c. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We don't know c. A is 9, b is 12, and we don't know c. Now, people have asked me the question, does it matter what value you put in for a or b? If I switched them around, would it make a difference? And the answer is no. So 81 plus 144 is equal to c squared. So we get 225 is equal to c squared. Now to get c, we got to unsquare the c squared, so we're going to use the square root. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And the square root of c squared is c. Square root of 225 is 15. And that's exact because we didn't have to approximate anything. Let's take a look at this example. First, let's identify the right angle. There it is. So 6 is the hypotenuse, which is c. 3 can be A or B. I'll label it B. And A, we don't know. So we get A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Pop them in. Don't know A. B is 3. C is 6. 3 squared is 9. 6 squared is 36. I'm going to take away 9 from both sides. A squared is equal to 27. If I take the square root of both sides, I get A is equal to the square root of 27. Now this is exact because I'm not punching any square roots in my calculator to get an approximation. So I'm going to write square root of 27. And the approximate thing is you put it into your calculator and we get 5.196. And they're always asking to 3 decimal places. Now let's do a little application. A 30-foot ladder is placed against a college classroom. So here's my ladder, and it's 30 feet. And it's placed against a college classroom building at a point 22 feet above the ground. 22 feet. Here's my little ground. You put a little flower on it. What is the distance from the base of the ladder, right here, to the building? Here's my building. Okay, I'm going to make it more of a right triangle. You guys, let me erase here. That's better. Looks much better. So now we know the hypotenuse. Yes, we do, because we know the side opposite the right angle. We know A, but we don't know B in this case. So let's do it. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared is 22 squared plus B squared, we don't know, 30 squared. So 30 squared is 900. 22 squared is 484. Now we are going to subtract 484 from both sides. And we get B squared is equal to 416. And now we have to take the square root of both sides, square root of B squared, square root of 416. So B is equal to the square root of 416. That's an exact answer, but the approximation is probably a lot easier to understand. So let's approximate it by taking that square root, and we get B is approximately equal to 20.39607, blah, blah, blah. Now we just have to figure out what the units are and make sure we approximate it to where we need to. The approximation is to the nearest tenth. So for the tenth, that's the 3. So the 9 makes the 3 go to a 4. So B is approximately equal to 20.4 feet. So if we want to write a sentence, we say the ladder is 20.4 feet from the base of the building. Now you can go on and do this piece in the lesson. Good luck, hang in there.